Hey guys, it's Tracy and welcome to my channel. Sharing with you some projects that I made using my xTool M1 10-watt laser. So I made this pencil, engraved this pencil jelly roll, I think it's called jelly roll or jelly pencil case from Target. And yeah, was on the M1 Tool Facebook group. And seems like when you engrave, what I've been reading or saw, when you're engraving on darker projects, you see more of it, looks more white, or you see the white color more when you're engraving on darker projects. So this is what I have. This font is from Creative Fabrica and it's called Famous College, and it's about 5 inches by 1 3/8 inches tall. So 5 inches wide by 1 3/8 inches tall. And it took little over 57 minutes to engrave. And let me tell you how the machine is set up. So I have the Honeycomb and the Riser base from xTool, and I put the Honeycomb in the RA2 position, and with the machine off, I slid that middle bar over top the project, and ensuring that the laser head was over top the project. And using this millimeter ruler, I measure the distance from on top of the project to that black laser head to the top of that laser head. And then in xTool, I change my machine from inches to millimeters because this ruler that I have is in millimeters. So in order to change your measurements, you go up to settings, and then there you'll see a section that's called unit. It's right up at it's the first line item, unit, and then you can change it from millimeter to inches. So I put in my setting. So after I changed that, I went back to the creative space, and then I had the machine in open plane, and there in open plane you'll see a section called distance, and then that's where in my case I enter the number of 23, and then I did position the font where I wanted it, and then I did framing, and for the framing there's a little gear next to that, and I change my power light down, or light power down to 1 because it defaults to 3, and I think the speed defaults to 160. So I didn't mess with the speed, but I just changed the power light to 1 because in reading in the xTool Facebook group, the framing can scorch or mark on your project. So I just changed that down to 1 and I framed it, looked good, and then just engraved it. So when I did put this in the machine, because the person that I'm giving this to is right-handed, you want to make sure that your pull tab is to the left. And if they are left-handed, you want to make sure the pull tab is to the right before you engrave. So that is this. And then I also engraved these pencils. I did those last week. And these are just some pencils I got from Walmart. And I don't recall the settings that I use for those at the moment. And then this is a pencil right here. I don't even know how you pronounce that, but I don't want to butcher it. But that's the pencil that I use. And I thought was because it was tan in the inside, when I engraved it, that it would come up, you would see the words in tan. But I probably didn't engrave deep enough, and it didn't on the test one. So I said, well, I have some tape here, some adhesive tape for when you're doing laser projects. So I wanted to try that. So I just cut a small strip and then did this, and that looks really good. And here's the tape, and I'll put a link in my description box to it. I got it from Johnson's Plastic. So that came out really well. I would just say be careful if you try this with thin letters, because I did try it with something else that was a little thinner, and for the eye, like the top of the dot of the I came off. So I'm thinking if you use a thinner font, then maybe you can seal it with resin if you have resin or something. Just not sure how that would look over top, but guess it would be okay. So that's what I did there. And then using my StarCraft Solo, I had some permanent vinyl, and I just put the name here, and it's the same font as the case. Again, that font is called Famous College from Creative Fabrica. So guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave me a comment. And also check my description box, because I'll put settings in there if I can remember what the settings were for the score and the engraving of the pencils. I will put that there as well. But guys, thanks a lot for watching, commenting, and subscribing. Bye.